You know, not being under contract, there's no rush to do anything.
He was just an amazing individual. I was able to meet him when I was 12, and I knew him.
Big $20 million, that's like a huge deal, right?
So you feeling that?
He was a high thinker and a guy that was always 30 steps ahead of whatever the curve was.
Prince, the innovative, one-of-a-kind artist who's given us so much great music over the decades, has been found dead.
Well, it's not your game. You didn't make the rules, so everything comes hard. And as long as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winnings.
Prince was more than just a musician. He was a revolutionary who fought against the exploitation of artists by the music industry. But what if that very battle cost him his life? Katt Williams has now come forward with claims that shed new light on Prince's conflicts with industry giants like Jay-Z and Diddy. What did Prince know? Why did he refuse to work with them? And could his fight for independence have led to his untimely demise? Stay tuned, because this story reveals a side of the industry most don't dare talk about.
I was thinking about your question a second ago. I think I'd want to teach in some capacity if I didn't. There's a lot of fine musicians in the group right now, and I'm learning from them. So as much as I'd like to teach, I also like to learn.
Prince wasn't just an artist. He was a force of nature, a musician who defied industry norms, played by his own rules, and fought for artistic freedom. He spent decades battling record labels, exposing the system's exploitative nature, and advocating for musicians to own their work.
I looked at it, I owned the work because I paid for it, and I did all the work, I created it, so I felt like it should belong to me. That said, the companies felt otherwise.
But in an industry where control equals power, challenging the status quo comes with risks. Now, Katt Williams is adding to the conversation, making bold claims about Prince's relationships with Jay-Z, Diddy, and the power players who run the business from behind the scenes. Could Prince's refusal to play their game have made him a target?
It's a double-edged sword, you know. A lot of artists aren't getting paid full scale for their art, and the internet, because of downloading and things like that, is kind of like a black hole. And it's hard to audit, it's hard to get accounting, and it's not that it's just about the money, but it's about justice and fairness. And when people say that they love you and they respect you, but at the same time take, 80% of your earnings, then expect you to fix your own communities, and they'll probably edit all of this out, but then it gets, that's the sharp part of the sword, and we're at the wrong end of it right now.
Prince's battle with the music industry started in the late 1970s when he signed with Warner Brothers. Despite gaining full creative control, a rarity at the time, he quickly realized the deal wasn't as good as it seemed. The label owned his masters, controlled his releases, and dictated his career trajectory.
Big $20 million, that's like a huge deal, right?
So you feeling that?
No, well, what I mean, I don't understand. What the public sees the word $20 million an album. Well,
let's see. Do you all think that's a good deal?
By the early 90s, Prince had enough. He changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol, a strategic move to escape Warner's grip and release music on his terms. He even wrote the word "slave" on his face during performances to make it clear. He was fighting a system designed to control artists, not empower them.
One of the ways in which I did that was to change my name. It sort of divorced me from the past and all the hang-ups that go along with it. I was, as it's been well chronicled, in deep dispute with my record label.
Fast forward to the streaming era, and Jay-Z enters the picture. With Tidal, Jay-Z positioned himself as an advocate for artists, promising them better financial returns than traditional record labels. He approached Prince, hoping to secure the rights to his catalog. But Prince wasn't convinced. He saw through the promises, recognizing that Tidal was still another corporate entity looking to profit from artists' work. Unlike other musicians who were eager to jump on board, Prince refused. He had fought too hard to regain control of his masters, to let another businessman dictate his legacy. Jay-Z's attempt to acquire Prince's music after his death only fueled more suspicion. Despite Prince's clear opposition to handing over his work, Jay-Z claimed Tidal had exclusive rights to his catalog. The legal battles that followed made one thing clear: Prince had no interest in aligning with Jay-Z's vision.
Jay-Z is moving on with his business, and his business, well, he thought his business was going to be all about Prince. We found out that Jay-Z actually made an offer, a very, very lucrative offer, to buy Prince's catalog of unreleased music. You know, this vault that we've been hearing people talk about since Prince died.
Thousands of songs, I think they
Yes.
said.
Oh, and this is great news to a lot of us that are Prince fans and big Jay-Z fans, because of all people, Jay-Z would go in, produce this music, release it, and it would be awesome. Put some of the other artists,
What if
including himself, on it.
what if the rejects suck?
Well,
Yeah, maybe there's a
I
reason
haven't
that they're
heard
in the
it,
vault.
but I doubt that any of this stuff sucks. But I mean, it's possible. Look, the reality is, we found out that, like you said, Jay-Z offered around $40 million for the rights to all that music. He met with Tyka, Prince's sister, and her husband, Maurice.
Diddy, on the other hand, took a different approach. Rather than challenging the system, he worked within it and profited immensely. While Prince was fighting to break free from corporate control, Diddy was forming lucrative partnerships with major labels, growing his empire through strategic alliances. His brand thrived under the same industry rules that Prince sought to dismantle. Yet, when Prince passed, Diddy publicly mourned, expressing admiration for the legend. But many found his sentiments disingenuous. How could someone who benefited from the very system Prince fought against claim to respect his legacy? To some, it felt like an opportunistic move rather than genuine grief. Prince's passing in 2016 was officially ruled an accidental overdose, but many fans and insiders found the circumstances suspicious. Just 2 years before, he had finally regained control of his masters, ensuring that his music would benefit his estate rather than the record labels he had battled for decades. Then, suddenly, he was gone. The official narrative suggested he took counterfeit painkillers laced with fentanyl.
Good day. We are coming on the air with breaking news about the death of an American music icon. Prince, the innovative, one-of-a-kind artist who's given us so much great music over the decades, has been found dead at his Paisley Park compound in suburban Minneapolis.
But those who knew him found this hard to believe. Prince was known for his discipline, particularly regarding his health. He was meticulous about his diet, avoided substances, and maintained an intense work ethic. The idea that he would accidentally ingest a fatal dose didn't sit right with many. Adding to the mystery was the fact that powerful artists who fought for independence often met similar fates. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and Sam Cooke, each of them had taken a stand against the industry, and each of them died under questionable circumstances. Was Prince's death truly accidental, or was it the result of a battle that had finally caught up to him?
Right. What I know is that he was really health conscious. He was a vegan. He didn't abuse alcohol. I didn't know of him abusing. You know, that also really concerned me, because it made me think that, wow, so you mean you do all these things to take care of yourself and you die so young?
Katt Williams has never been one to shy away from controversy. Over the years, he has spoken openly about the dark side of the entertainment industry, calling out corruption and exploitation. Now, he's making bold claims about Prince's fate, hinting that his battle for artistic freedom may have made him a target. Williams suggests that Prince's rejection of industry power players, his refusal to sign deals, his public defiance of record labels, and his vocal criticism of the system made him a problem. A problem that, according to Williams and others,
A 1 in a billion type person. I was lugging it on.
may have been dealt with in a way that ensured the industry's control remained intact. Prince's story isn't just about one artist's struggle. It's about a much bigger fight between creatives and the corporations that profit off them. The music industry has long relied on a model that keeps artists dependent, locking them into contracts that strip them of ownership and financial power. Prince was a threat to that model. If he could succeed outside of the traditional system, others might follow. That's why his legacy continues to resonate. He proved that artists didn't need to be at the mercy of record labels, that they could take control of their own work and still succeed. But the industry wasn't about to let that happen easily. The timing of his death right after he secured his masters, raises questions that remain unanswered. Even after his passing, Prince's battle continues. His estate has faced legal battles over the rights to his music, with various parties trying to claim ownership.
Well, it's not your game. You didn't make the rules, so everything comes hard. And as long as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winnings. A select few of us will do well, the majority will not. So as a people, we'll be considered a minority. But stop. Let's take a moment and look at yourselves. There's nothing minor about you.
The very thing he fought to protect, his artistic freedom, is still being contested in courtrooms and boardrooms. Meanwhile, figures like Jay-Z and Diddy continue to thrive within the industry. They've built empires by playing the game, navigating the same system Prince spent his life resisting. It raises an uncomfortable question. Is it even possible to succeed in the music industry without compromising artistic independence? Prince wasn't just a musician. He was a revolutionary. He stood up to the industry, challenged its power, and paid the ultimate price. Whether his death was truly an accident or something more sinister, his legacy remains a testament to the fight for artistic freedom. So what do you think? Was Prince's refusal to play by the industry's rules a factor in his untimely death? Did Jay-Z and Diddy benefit from a system he fought so hard against? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.